name as the middle name. Yeah. All right. So Jerry Joseph is joining us on episode 2 of the BeeHive. And me and Jerry have known each other for about 4 or 5 years now. He works at St. Albert Dodge. And he was able to battle through the elements and join me here today with all the snow and his sports car that he had to drive through here. So I really appreciate you having taking the time to be here. Welcome.
Thank you.
And for those of you that don't know, me and Jerry we met at West End Suzuki, correct?
Back in 2012, 13. So it's
See,
been
you would only remember
years.
that. You
8
get such
years, not 4 or 5.
No wonder your customers love you so much. So 8 years.
It's
So it was me, you, and those Asians that we loved so
and
much.
Ravi.
And Ravi. Oh yeah, we can't forget about Ravi. We got to talk to that guy. He should have been on here with us too. But it's nice to see you. I know when I first met you, you were a little bit overweight, and now that I've seen you, I mean, we have kept in touch. But there was a year that went by. I think it was like 3 years ago where I ran into you for the first time. After kind of going our separate ways for a while, and I saw you and you looked so good, and you had, I don't know how much weight you dropped. I don't know if you want to disclose that, but you looked awesome. I almost didn't recognize you. So I thought maybe you could share a little bit of that with us.
Share the secret.
Yeah, share the secret. I don't know if there's a secret, but I know when we first met, you definitely weren't the same guy. You were just as happy. I noticed that about you, that you've always been a bubbly person, which is awesome, because too many people out there are a little negative, including myself at times. But you always seem to keep your composure and a smile on your face no matter what you were going through. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but
I'm just grateful for being alive, man.
yeah, grateful. I like that.
Not a lot of people have the opportunity we do.
Yeah, true.
We have to live here, and
yeah, absolutely.
But there was no secret. I just went to the gym, and I made a decision. After all my pants were ripping down the crotch.
You get that too, hey?
Man.
Not anymore, though.
Not anymore.
All right.
No,
yeah.
I'd buy, you'd buy something nice, a pair of jeans, a nice pair of jeans, a nice pair of dress pants.
Yeah.
You go get into your vehicle and they rip down the crotch.
Yeah.
I decided enough was enough, so went to the gym, changed my eating habit, got rid of carbs. We as ethnic people love our carbs, man. We love bread. We love rice.
Yeah, man. I'm Lebanese. You don't think I love my bread and my Leban and my jobin? It's all cheese, man. And I'm lactose intolerant. I don't like that,
same.
But I just grew up that way. So you cut the carbs out.
It was tough because your moms want to make food for you, and having the
I don't know what that's like. I'm Lebanese.
You see? It's tough. It was tough saying no, but I had to lose weight. Sick and tired of being overweight.
Sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah, sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah.
So, just changed my eating habits. Started drinking more water. Got rid of drinking juices and pops. So I decided I was only going to drink water and liquor. So when I would go out, it'd be vodka waters or just vodkas. I mean, just waters, not just vodka. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But
just vodka.
Just vodka.
What do you have in that bottle? Vodka. Anything else? Vodka.
So got rid of the juices, the pops, and started eating healthier.
Yeah.
But most important, I find that intermittent fasting is what helped me out lots, because I wouldn't eat. I'd pick hours. Like for this month, I would eat from 8 to 6, and I would
have a window of. Well, your window's a little bit bigger, because my window when I intermittent fast, and I haven't been doing it for that long, so it's not like I'm talking based on experience, but 6 to 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like we were doing it anyways.
Yeah.
Like the way we live, you tend to go 10 hours without eating regardless, but it just wasn't on a clock. Yeah. It wasn't being carefully analyzed. It was just whatever. If I'm baked at 1 a.m. and I drive by a McDonald's, I'm going to hit it up for a McFlurry and a cheeseburger. You know what I mean? But then I won't eat till the next day at 2, let's say. Yeah. But just because you're fasting and you're not on a clock, I don't think it works as well. I think when your body notices that you're doing it in a window of 8 hours or 6 hours, it starts knowing when to kind of release endorphins, or when to give you that extra energy that's needed. And when you eat, you don't overeat, and you're not thinking about food while you're fasting. That's the thing I love about it. I'm not worried about my breakfast and lunch. I'm not even thinking about food. Where normally throughout the day, you always have to ask yourself, am I hungry? Should I stop here? Should I, you know, I'm not saying that ties up your day, but it does tie up,
Eating.
making breakfast and lunch. That's time, right?
It takes up time. But when your body craves a habit, craves habit.
Yeah.
As weird as the body is, it wants a routine.
It's like waking up on time when you're so used to it after a while. It's
Yeah.
just your body's way of letting you know that. I got you.
I got you,
You know,
right?
you're up
So
at 7:30 every day. We'll get up at almost to the T.
almost to the T,
Yeah.
right? You know, you wake up before, even if you set an alarm clock, you know, if you have a routine alarm clock every day.
Yeah.
I wake up before my alarm clock
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I know my alarm clock
You
is
wake up your alarm clock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Yeah.
but with intermittent fasting, that's what I started off with 8. You know, because I'd wake up and go to the gym at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So by 8, I'd already be up, ready to go, have a milkshake, and just start. Or like, let's just say, if I didn't want to eat in the morning, I'd eat from 12 to 8, 12 to 9,
Yeah.
12 to 10. Because you know, being in the auto industry, you
Of
get off
course.
at 9 and your schedule's always screwed up because you have a customer. So
You can't tell the family to hold on. I got to go eat my salad.
You can't,
got to
you can't.
pass them on to the finance manager. You got to
Exactly.
get the paperwork and the gas filled up. And,
exactly.
yeah, I hear you.
So, you know, I would have that window day in, day out, day in, day out. And before I knew it, 2 years had passed by, 2.5 years, 3 years, and I
Yeah.
was doing the same thing.
So what were you at when I first met you? And when I say to everybody out there that you were heavier, I don't mean like you were a heavy guy. You just weren't in the shape you're in now. So I don't know how much you weighed then. Like, what are we talking about?
I don't know how much I weighed. I was probably in and around the 220 there. I know I was a size, waist-wise, 38.
38.
So,
And you think you were about 220 then, which is not hard to, because I was 240 then.
yeah,
And that's just because I was a little bit bigger, but that's not by much. So yeah, I'd say about 220.
right? And then I was wearing extra large. So
Yeah.
now I'm a size 31,
Wow.
32. Right,
Wow.
and I'm like, I hover in and around the 175, 180.
Yeah,
I can't get any bigger. Whenever I notice
Yeah.
a change in my body, with working out for 2 years and doing intermittent fasting and trying to discover your body
Yeah.
and the habit that it likes,
You start listening to it more.
you start listening to it more.
Yeah.
So if you now I tailor all my clothes. So if I feel them feeling slightly different, or I feel my body feeling a little off, I know what I need to start doing. I need to stop
okay.
eating this, or I need to start eating like this.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
you feel that your body starts to get back into the routine
Yeah.
much quicker than somebody who doesn't have a routine.
I like that.
Right,
So,
so-
you're very much monitoring
Yes.
your habits and noticing little changes, where some of us can go up and down, but we don't really analyze what we're eating and how we're working out or whatever the case may be. That's great, man. That's
So one
awesome.
thing you have control of, you don't have control over pretty much, and like you don't have control in life over anything, but your body, you can control what goes in and
Yeah.
what kind of results you want. If you want to look a certain type of way, like for somebody like you, I've seen you bigger.
Yeah.
Like you were much bigger, so I'm pretty sure with you know how to work out, you know what to do to get
Yeah.
a certain look.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with losing weight, but it's so tough
So
to
tough.
maintain and keep that weight
So
off.
much temptations out there. But mind you, I feel like we put so much garbage
Yes.
in our body. I'm not talking about food. I'm just talking about the way we treat our body. We smoke cigarettes once in a while. I don't know if you do, but I do once in a while. And so I find myself that I don't treat my body, and I'm talking about even stretching before I play hockey.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll do a half-ass stretch, stretch out my legs, maybe a little bit on my back. I'll forget about my neck. That's me abusing my body in a way
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm not taking the precautions I should. So I just mean we do all of that to our body. So it's nice to be able to have control of what goes in and how much we train it and stuff like that. So you cut out carbs.
Man, it was
Like,
tough.
are you still on the no carb thing? Do you have a day where you cheat?
I still have carbs, but I monitor my carbs. I still have now I'm trying to gain weight, so I'm eating carbs now. But
Yeah.
carbs is tough because I would have you have a sandwich.
Oh, I love carbs.
I know I love
My
peanut butter.
God.
So bread and peanut butter whole
Peanut
wheat.
butter.
Oh,
I cut out carbs, but I still stick a big ass spoon in
I
that
do
peanut
that.
butter jar and just,
that's okay.
especially if it's got nuts in it. That's a meal, man. That's a meal.
But the craze right now is keto. I don't know if you've heard of keto, like intermittent fasting.
Somebody was telling me about it, but I don't know much about it.
Keto. My fiance's on keto, and I saw her lose 20 pounds in a month.
Really?
20 pounds. Next month, another 20 pounds.
So what is this keto diet? Do you know
It's
enough
all
about
about
it?
you don't eat I haven't done research on it. I haven't started, but I know based off,
Well, she
living
lives with you.
Yeah,
I'm sure you
so
did some sort of research.
exactly.
You see it. So tell us more.
Just you don't eat carbs. You just
So that's it.
That's just you legit
So
get rid of
just no carbs.
No carbs.
Along with intermittent fasting.
No, that's
no?
two separate things.
Oh, okay.
So you get rid of carbs and sugar. So you're on a protein and high fat diet. So you have a lot of meat.
Which I mean, you make it sound simple, like just no sugar, no carbs, but you're cutting out a lot of food.
What do you eat?
When you exactly?
What do you have a salad every day?
Yeah. What are you gonna look at that has no sugar?
If like when you want to have especially with carbs, when you want to have
a stick of gum's got sugar in it.
Everything.
But she like a keto. It's called a keto diet.
It's called keto diet.
Okay, so eliminating sugars, she eliminated everything.
No sugars,
no stick of gum,
Nope.
no juicy fruit. No. Okay.
I've seen my shift partner at work even do keto and seen him lose 20 pounds just by not eating carbs, not eating.
But you have to have the weight to lose. I find that people throw out numbers like that, and I threw them. Oh, I lost 20 pounds. Well, that's because I was way overweight.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
240.
Yeah, no, I was 260. Then I went down to 240. So those 20 pounds are obvious. You can get those off without doing anything. Mm-hmm. Just don't go to McDonald's every day.
That's
and don't make the midnight stops and try to eat a little healthier. And when you're full stop. A lot of us, especially with the help of Mary Jane, we're overeating because we think we're so hungry.
You're eating for the taste.
Exactly. I ate half an hour ago. You might have thought he was dead. He ain't dead. He's gonna wake up and eat everything in your house. But yeah, so a lot of us overeat because of that too. But so you cut the carbs out. You went from 38 to 32 on the waist, which is how many? So you went from, you think it was 220 to
down to one.
So about 35 pounds, almost 40 pounds you lost.
Yeah,
good for you. And you kept it off this whole time. So now it's a little bit easier. Now you don't see yourself slipping as often.
No, because I don't want to go back.
No, you don't want a new wardrobe as well. It's like time to throw out all the old.
That's
clothes.
the thing with gaining weight. It's expensive. You always got to buy.
It's expensive to lose weight too, though.
It is,
because then you got to go shopping again.
But I mean,
it's expensive to go back and forth.
Yes, but you're not, when you're losing weight, you're gonna not buy clothes until you say I'm at a certain weight. I'm not gonna buy clothes until I'm this weight. Yeah, because you can't every 2 months buy clothes. You just wait it out, right? So
you don't do what I do, which is buy a size or two smaller, keep it in the closet in the back one. I'm gonna get to you one day.
I've done that a couple times.
Yeah, it doesn't work. They're still brand new. I'm still looking for the guy a little bit smaller than me, so I can give it to. We'll give it away on the show. That'll be a prize. So that's awesome. So
making a habit of eating a salad a day. Yeah, and no dressing. I can eat salads now with no dressing.
Really? I'm proud that I can have coffee now without sugar or cream.
I could have black coffee. Now I have
I never used to, I'm not a coffee drinker regardless, but since I started drinking coffee, it was impossible not to put anything in it. Now I do.
That's
now I go black. Now I do like black tea, black coffee. Still cheat once in a while. Still go off the rails.
Nothing wrong with once in a while, but imagine it every day. 2-3 spoons of sugar in your tea, or it's little things like that. Yeah, it's the little things in the short term that help you.
And plus, you're breaking that fast. So whenever you have a little bit of Splenda or cream in your coffee at 9 a.m, but you're fasting till 3 p.m, let's say, you're really not, because you just broke that fast. Mm-hmm. So now your clock has to start all over again. Yeah, that was hard to make an adjustment to. So when you fast, you have to do it almost a religious way, where you fast, like you don't put anything in your mouth. Yeah, exactly.
No, it was very religious. No dressing on my salads, black coffee, big chicken with no salt, no pepper.
Yeah. Like whenever I mention I'm intermittent fasting, they always think that's a religious thing because the way I look. They're like, "You're Muslim?" I'm like, no, but I'm just intermittent fasting. It's just a eating on a clock. I'm kind of starting a regime that way, where I'm trying to be disciplined with when I eat and how much I eat and what I eat and stuff like that. That's it. But yeah.
But it's weird. I've seen people eat 9 times a day and still but how do you eat 9 times a day?
Buddy, some of my smallest friends will have 9 eggs in the morning. I'm like, I haven't had 9 eggs all month. Seriously. And they'll do it. But I think just like you can train your body to intermittent fast, you can train your body to have such a fast metabolism that you can eat all day. And they don't look bad. So they're not overeating. Like they're not
But that goes hand in hand with intermittent fasting, because in that hour, that window that you have to eat, you have to cram food.
And it's impossible when you're doing
when
it.
you have
'Cause you're
Mary
like,
Jane,
how come I'm not hungry?
yeah.
It's been 18 hours.
When you go home and you have Mary Jane waiting for you at home,
Yeah.
you have
What's your
to.
fiance's name? I'm just kidding.
It's the side piece.
That's my side chick. I roll that bitch up every night.
But when you have her waiting for you at the end of the night, like what I used to do is I'd eat within that window, and then go right before as soon as I get home, I'd make a milkshake, a protein shake.
Yeah.
And I would stop eating for the end of the night.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
was extremely disciplined.
Even if you're high, you can still eat healthy if you're high, but you just eat a lot of it.
But it's not even
if
healthy.
you put it in front of you.
It's at night. It's the eating at night.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's the
Especially
eating.
because your clock stops at 9 or 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
You can't be eating at 1 in the morning. You
Yeah.
mess that up.
And who
big
eats
time.
a broccoli? Who wants to eat broccoli at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, usually when you're diving into your fridge at 1 in the morning, it's not for broccoli. It's for your nephew's uneaten chocolate pudding or something like that,
No,
in my
absolutely.
case. So having that, that you've been doing, and a new wardrobe, that's why you looked so good when I saw you. I'm telling you, I almost didn't recognize you. It was night and day. And like I said, you weren't happier because you've always been a happy guy. You're not, strike me as a negative person, and not in the time I've known you that you have been. But you definitely look different. You looked good. You looked healthy and fit. And I met your fiance the other day at Cactus.
Mm-hmm.
What a beauty.
Thank
you guys look good together.
Thank you.
I felt like a third wheel for a second. I had to go around to the bar and bug my friends on the other
I
side.
saw you looking at that one.
He's doing fine. He's doing fine. Cactus is awesome. Now there's a place where you can break your fast and feel super guilty about
my
it.
goodness.
Those prawns, those ravioli prawns. I'm like,
That's her favorite dish.
of course, it's everybody.
It's her
You see how much
favorite-
butter they put in that thing?
Oh my
It's
goodness.
swimming in butter, and it tastes so good. Jeez, you know how many times I get an order to stay and an order to go?
Really?
So regretful.
She's guilty. That let me not tell her
That's
secret, but
horrible.
she does that.
That's horrible. Now it's out there. But I mean, Cactus is known for their Moscow mules, and
my goodness.
that's just it's all temptation in that place.
I like,
And the workers look pretty good.
and they're always happy and dancing.
I've never seen so many shift changes in an hour in my life. It's like, how am I served by 3 different people? Yeah, they run a tight ship there. That and the West End location.
I've
is,
been to the West End location.
Very busy. Very busy. The West End Cactus Club. It's attached to the mall. It's in the same parking lot. It's across from McDonald's. I think there's a McDonald's still there. Okay. It's right beside Planet Hollywood, or it used to be Planet Hollywood. Okay. But yeah, it's jam-packed. Like, you got to wait an hour. Last time we went, I know some people there, so it makes it a little bit easier if you have a few people already sitting down when you walk in. But generally speaking, you're waiting 45 minutes, half an hour. But it's busy, just like the downtown one. I think every single Cactus Club I've ever been to has been jam-packed. Monday afternoon, whenever you happen to be there, they're busy. They're doing something right, and their food is great.
It's amazing.
Yeah, no, it's almost like a club atmosphere without the club, but you can still communicate. See, the thing that most of us don't like about going to a club, and me and you have been there, where we're standing there and we can't have a conversation, especially one like this, but we just can't talk.
No, it's too
just
loud.
because it's too loud. Where Cactus gives you that music, the atmosphere, but you could still sit and converse. And
that is true.
So that's...
There's not a lot of places like that in the city. There's few places like that, but nothing that pertain to the music that we like.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes they do. Depends on the DJ. They have some good DJs that go through there. But I'm into all kinds of music. Like, all kinds of music. You'd probably catch me listening to Andrea Bocelli and classical music at times, country even. I've been able to throw in some country.
I've been to Big Valley.
R&B, rap. But I'm just a fan of music, especially because I suck at making it. I'm horrible at making music. Like, I wouldn't know where to start. I bought a guitar one time, pawned it off a week later because I didn't know how to put 2 notes together.
Really?
I just wasn't good at it, but I was so fascinated by it. I just love music, but I'm not a musician. I can't drop a beat for you. I can't rap to save my life.
Can you
but
sing?
I love, no, not really. I try to do the Frank Sinatra thing in the shower because it sounds so good with the echo. But no, I'm definitely not going to put that on my podcast. Maybe one day when I'm really feeling loose, I'll break it out. So besides that, you me and you, where we first met, going back to where we first met, was at the dealership.
Yeah.
How are you? Like, you're at St. Albert Dodge now?
Yeah, correct.
And where is that located? Where
In
is
St. Albert.
But where like St. Albert Trail?
184 in St. Albert Trail. So in between the Petro and the Husky, right after that big pink motel.
The Big Pink Motel.
Yeah. It's right before.
Never stayed at the Big Pink Motel before.
Well, it's not pink anymore, but it was back in the day.
Oh, okay. All right.
But right before BP's. So
Gotcha.
Off. It's on St. Albert Trail. You can't miss it.
And are you there full time?
Full time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And things are going well?
Great. Can't complain.
Because you were breaking records before. Like, you were doing really well wherever you went. But how are you doing now? How are you finding the season?
Pretty good.
Now that winter's around the corner, people are getting into their SUVs and trucks.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I like this time of year because
you love your Dodge trucks. Every time I see a commercial with you in it, I'm like, he's loving that truck. You got that same smile on your face. You just can't wipe it off. I'm like, how can you not buy a truck from this guy?
That's true. I ask myself that all the time.
It's great. What are you doing there? Are you just sales? Are you management? Are you doing financing?
I'm in sales, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And new or used?
Both, new and used.
Nice. Yeah. And is that how it goes? Because the dealership we were at, you had to pick one or the other.
You had to pick one.
You can go, but then you got to split the commission.
Exactly. It's how a lot of places are, where you go and you either pick new or used. But here, I'm grateful that they allow me to sell both new and used.
Nice.
Plus, I don't like limitations. Imagine if you have a buddy that comes up to buy a used vehicle, then you have to give them.
But I know, Joseph, you just stand on this side of the fence and don't move. We'll tell Joseph that you buy a car. It's like, but I really want to talk to him. No, they did that before, but I know sometimes that somebody be buying a new car and then their used car comes on the lot as a trade-in, and then there's somebody interested in it. Sometimes what we try to do is kind of set up that sales pitch to the used car manager or salesperson, so they can at least help this person out while we're helping another family member or whatever, and they would split that commission because you kind of made that happen. So there are times where you can team up with somebody and still be able to share the commission, and everybody's happy and your customer should be happy.
But who wants to share commission?
Right? Who wants to do that? You're not taking me to Cactus Club. I'm taking me to Cactus Club.
Cactus Club is expensive.
Oh, yeah, buddy. Our bill came through, and I was like, who the hell was ordering Jerry? I looked over at you and the fiance, but I was like, Jerry wouldn't do that. No, it is, you got to go to hockey games now. You go to an Oilers game now, and you're paying $500 a piece for a ticket. By the time you leave that place with
$1,000,
and God forbid you're hungry, or it's your cheat day and you're going to get pizza and beer and with your ticket and then the parking, by the time you get back home, that's a $700 a piece night for sure.
That's if you go by yourself. You got
that's if you go by yourself.
You're gonna go with the girl, and you're gonna want to get
the lonely fucker spends $700 on himself by himself. If you're with a group, good luck to you.
Good luck, or you take a girl, or you take the fiance, and then
it gets expensive.
Yeah,
for sure. So you're doing that full time at Dodge?
Full time, yeah.
I remember that when we worked together, me, you, and Ravi and even John and Richard would experience some sort of backlash of racism where somebody comes on the lot that does. I've been told straight up, somebody will come back to me and be like, I don't want to deal with that Asian guy over there. And I'm thinking, he's a great guy. Why? You know what I mean? But you want the sale. You're like, yeah, I agree with you. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Come over here. But we all experienced it. You experienced it. Since I've been out of the car business for, well over 10 years. Do you still feel that goes on there? Do you get people on the lot that are almost favoring one over the other? I don't mean to bring race to the table because you're black. I just know that we experienced that where we used to work, and I'm just wondering, does that still exist in that industry, or do you have anything to add?
No, it absolutely still does exist in the industry. It happened. I experienced it last month. Literally experienced it last month, where I had one of my coworkers. Who had a customer coming in while he wasn't there, and he said, "Can you help me out?" As you should help a coworker out. So I was a little tied up. So another coworker put him on ice for me until I was available for him, and then the guy was all cheerful, laughy daffy. But as soon as he saw me, his tone changed, kept his look towards the white guy, and said, "These guys are always fucking wasting my time," and walked away.
Wow.
And I laughed, but the white guy was like, "Man, I'm so sorry that happened. Like,
Yeah, it's
But that happened last month. That happened, last month.
2018. We're not talking about 2008 when we met. That's insane.
Yeah.
And it's just straightforward, just like that.
Just like that.
In front of you.
In front of me. In front of both of us.
Yeah, that's not a good feeling.
No.
That's not a good feeling for anybody.
So,
not even for your friend.
No, it made him feel awkward.
Of course. Of
'Cause,
course.
he's
I
the
would
one-
feel awkward.
You
But I'm surprised that you didn't say anything to him. It's at
What's the
work,
point?
so you're like,
What's the point?
Yeah, what is the point?
What are you, obviously, there's something
Not going to
bothering.
change his mind.
You can't change
Not
his
going to be a
mind.
better person.
Obviously, there's something that's inside him and that's bothering. Like, for me to dislike, brown guy or Arab guy, there has to be something personal.
And not even that, something personal to that person.
Yes.
So
Or
why
to-
would you bring race or gender
Yes.
or what country he's from or what color his skin is? Because that particular person
yeah.
has a view on something
Yeah,
or you have a misunderstanding with him or a discussion that went the wrong way. But for him to say that straight up in front of you, and he showed a lot of patience. Other people would have said something.
What's the point?
Yeah, what is the point to it? That is the proper way to approach it. So I'm not saying you didn't, but it just takes a lot to do that.
Some people say
what I
I
mean?
should have said something. Some people said I shouldn't. But
I probably would have said something like really.
what you've said.
I would have said something to provoke him more. That's how I would approach that, which is not the right way to do it.
Oh, this
so
is
don't
you.
get
I
me
know
wrong.
that about you.
Yeah, no, but I wouldn't be hurt by it, but I would say something to provoke him even further. I don't know what I would say in the heat of the moment, or something like,
It
"I'm
happens
sorry
so
you feel
fast.
that way," but I'd be nice about it.
But it happened so fast.
It happens so fast.
And
But
he
what
turned
if you
his
say,
back and didn't give me a chance to say anything.
right? Yeah, I think the best thing for people to do there, for him, is to turn his back and leave as quickly as possible, because you
that's what
want
he
that
did.
person away from that vibe that you call life as fast as possible. Like, get out of my aura, please. Like, you're the wrong person. So that's smart for him to do, is just to turn around and walk away. But I would have said something like, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. I would have said something stupid like that. But some people, you provoke them more. But I'd want to do that.
Yeah.
But maybe I'd be bored at the moment for me to do that. You probably had shit to do, and you're like,
I
all right,
think
I gotta go back to what I was
go
doing.
back to work.
Yeah.
Don't get paid to
So
be
that's
there.
still around, hey?
It happens.
This was last month. Did he end up buying a car?
No, I don't think so.
God, I
The
wish he
original
would've came
sales guy
back.
didn't call him back because I don't deal with racist guys.
Really?
Yeah.
You guys should have, and then you should have pulled up to deliver the vehicle when it's gassed up, and you show up. You're like, it's all black and ready to go, and it smells just like me in there. Enjoy. I would have said something stupid like that. There's ways of getting these people. You just gotta tease them more. But yeah, nobody's got time for that shit.
No.
So it still exists, eh? And before that, did you experience, or you just give me the most recent? But it happens.
It happened before that, where I was
you get
dealing with a
looks,
guy.
you get
Well, you get looks. You just get looks. You get people who won't talk to you. You say hello to them, they ignore you. It just it
God.
happens.
Even don't they wish they even? I wish they would know you. If they actually spoke to you and got to know you as a person,
They're lost.
they're lost big time, man. Big time, they're lost.
They're lost, right?
You're a great guy, man. You're a great guy through and through, and they're lost for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny because if you take the time to meet anybody, and we misjudge people all the time. I prejudge somebody. There's always judgments going on.
It happens.
But sometimes you judge the wrong people. And you shouldn't judge, period. But sometimes you judge people that would have been detrimental in your life, that would have been a big part in your life. I mean, me and these guys met by accident. You know what I mean? And so everything happens for a reason. So you judge people, it really ends up being your loss. Like, all jokes aside.
It does.
Totally.
A person told me, and I will never forget this quote, that you're one person away from a millionaire. From being a millionaire.
I like
you're
that.
one person away from being a millionaire.
I think I get what that means.
You meet the right person,
Yeah.
and then you give them your idea. They like it.
Yeah.
You meet the right person, then you give them their idea, your
Yeah.
idea, and then
Yeah.
they like it, and then you guys run together. Let's just
Yeah.
say they're a millionaire,
Yeah.
right? That's
Yeah. True. True.
you paint, and let's just say the right person comes along and
Yeah.
you put.
And
in
I've
work.
had that happen.
You've had that happen.
I've had that happen big time, like with celebrities having some of my paintings. That was all just through either word of mouth, or somebody mentioned something, or had met somebody in the
Absolutely.
past that knew somebody. It was all them. It wasn't nobody just randomly chooses you from a hat and says, "Oh, you should paint something for me or do whatever service for me." That's not how it works. So you do surround yourself by the right people, and sometimes it pays off, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes they're not looking for it to pay off. It's just having them there. Some people encourage you in other ways. Just because I don't connect you with the right people or send you a few people a month to buy a truck or a car from you, it doesn't mean I don't influence your life in some positive way. Maybe having you here on the podcast makes it a little bit easier to communicate with you or to reach out to you, or maybe that's my contribution, or whatever the case may be, right? So I think people just bring things out of you that end up being contributions without them even knowing. You know?
Yeah, like you said, it's your loss if you judge somebody, right?
That's right.
You know, it goes hand in hand with that. You could bring something out of me, and I could bring something out of you, right? So
that's nice that you were shown support by your coworkers there, for them not to reach back out there.
Yes.
I mean, maybe somebody else would have said, well, I don't care, that's you, I'm gonna call them, there's $500 on the line. So it's nice that they, you know, that they support you as well, and they have your back should something stupid like that happen. Which I'd have your back, but
no, for
I'm
sure.
not sure who you work with, right?
Which as you should, you know. I'm pretty sure you and I, we've had incidences back in the day when it was a crazy customer in your office, and we had your back at the dealership no matter who was right. You know, you spend so much time with somebody at work. You work with somebody.
Close that door and lock it up. It's like, no, don't do it.
But I mean, you spend all day with somebody. You go to work, you see them at 8 o'clock, you finish at 4, 5, 6 o'clock at night. You see that person. Yeah. Like when we were working together, we would go to work all day because it was just us, and then we'd go home and play GTA. We played GTA till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. You remember that?
Yeah, absolutely. John reminded me of that the other day. I just spoke to him like yesterday. I think it was. I talked to him. He goes, "Remember when Jerry used to jump on that barge and stay there and get mad and wouldn't talk to you if you knock him off? Because we put all our cars on the same like barge in the middle of the water and just start banging at him till one of them falls." Oh man, boy, did we waste time. But it was fun. But it was fun.
No, it was fun.
We had a good time. That was my first online experience.
Really?
Now for kids, it's like just like second nature.
It's like second nature.
Oh yeah, but 5 years old online. Yeah, I'm talking to my buddy so and so. I'm like, you have friends online?
Have you tried to play Fortnite online?
No, I will not go near Fortnite. I can't do it.
I tried it once, and these kids are advanced.
I can't do Snapchat. I can't do Fortnite. I just there's some things I refuse to get into. Not because I don't want to sound like a hypocrite, because I use Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp and all that. So I'm not trying to sound like a hypocrite, but there's just some there's a line you have to draw in the sand. And I feel like if I'm watching Fortnite or Snapchat or getting into that, I just feel like it's just more of my day where I won't have time to do something like this.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's not because I look down on somebody that is using any of that. It's just there's a line that you don't want to cross because you just got too much on the go.
And how many platforms you have to like somebody's photo? Like, I liked your photo on Facebook.
I forget who's...
I liked it on Instagram, and you see it on Snapchat, you see it on Twitter. Like,
exactly.
All sharing the same things across the same platforms, you know? So
you run into people now, and you don't even recognize them.
No.
Yeah, every picture of yours has a dog nose and dog ears. You're filtered.
Yeah.
Like, I don't actually know what your nose or your ears really look like when I run into you. I'm like, Omar? I'm like, yeah, okay. And I just can't believe how many filters are out there. It's like, I thought it was just a phase that would go away in a couple of months, but these companies like Snapchat are always inventing new and funny ways to kind of put your pictures out there, and you know, they got the date and then they made it so it's GPS where they know where you're at, and if you're Snapchatting from Boston, it'll pop up as Boston, Massachusetts, or whatever. So it'll just keep you engaged and going back. But I just can't believe how many people still use that. It's like, okay, now I find pleasure when I see somebody that doesn't use filters. I'm like, I like her. Like, that's cool. You know what I mean? So there's something to be said about everybody just trying to look the same or be the same. But like I said, we all fall into it. It's a trap. But I try to.
It's the likes.
Yeah.
People crave the likes. You notice whenever you post something,
endorphins in
you want to see how people liked your photo.
Yeah.
We all do it.
Yeah. 2 likes. It's been like an hour, man. Where are you guys? Get online.
Or you post something on Snapchat. I don't have Snapchat, but when I used to have it, you're constantly.
Does Snapchat show you how many likes?
Oh yeah. How many people viewed your?
How many views?
How many views? Right.
Like a story on Instagram.
Yes, it's like a story, right?
Yeah.
And man, the reason I got out of Snapchat is because you sit there, you watch everybody photo of a wall, photo of, like photo of going to West End.
It's like, okay,
okay,
I'll look at your photos if you post them. I'm online. I'm on social media. Just
what do you do?
make it a little more interesting.
But what do you do? Like people actually spend time all day Instagram or Snapchat.
Like some of it's useless.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be the one to judge what's useless and what isn't, because you might find a picture nice and I might say that's a waste of time. But I'm just saying some of them are really useless.
Or when they're talking,
and your useless photos. I'll go through my photos. I bet you I could pick up one or two that are absolutely useless. Should not be there.
Or when they have those long stories that they just talk and talk. You want to talk to. Obviously, they want to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Pick up a phone and call somebody.
Or the ones that put on. I don't know whose feelings I'd hurt, but I've seen a few people I have on Facebook will put on their notifications or their wall or their posts will be like, anybody down for dinner in the West End, and I'm like, really?
Yeah, you don't have
you went through your contacts and everything already. It's like you've gone through all your old text messages. You've called up family members. Like I just
let me go with a stranger off Facebook.
Yeah, it's like straight up is people and are these people actually meeting up? So if you're putting
that is true.
So if you're putting a notification on Facebook or why do I keep saying notification?
Posting something on your wall.
Yeah, posting something on your wall and you're asking for a dinner date, or is there anybody free to meet up? We've all been there where we're driving and we hope that, we go somewhere and there's a buddy of ours there or somebody that we're just forgetting about because we know we have so many contacts and so many people that we know. But I'm just wondering, those people that are getting back to those people, are they actually arranging it and then they meet up? And then if so, what's that conversation like? Are they sitting like this going, well, thanks for putting out that post. I mean, I had no idea how you felt or whatever, right? So I wonder how that conversation
I never thought about that. Do people actually meet up?
Like, I want to know the success rate. What's the closing ratio on a Facebook post and invite to dinner to anyone?
Does anybody want to do anything or does anybody want to...
That's true. What's the closing ratio on that? What's the success rate?
I don't know. I don't do that. Yeah. I've never done
Let's
that.
Try it. I'm sure the fiance would like that. Oh, so you're bored in the north side, hey? Northeast Edmonton. I mean, that aside, social media can be a little bit crazy and overwhelming, and we spend time on it without even knowing we're doing it. I just don't like it when it's like first thing in the morning. When you forget you're checking an email, somebody sends you a message, and a lot of people don't have my phone number. A lot of people don't have your phone number. Sometimes I'm so lazy to go into my contacts and reach out to you. Let's say I'll do it through Instagram.
Oh,
I've done it. I've done it to people. It's weird. I don't want you to think that I don't have your number. It's just it was there. It was open. I seen Jerry Berry, and you know what I mean, or whatever the case may be, and I sent you out a message. So. Some of us just do that just out of habit. So, I mean, how many phone numbers do you remember in your phone now? Like, do you remember my phone number off by heart?
No.
That's crazy. And mine's a memorable one too. And I don't know yours. So if I literally had no phone, I'd know. You know what I mean? So we're so dependent on technology and on social media and some of it's useless and some of it's very meaningful and very motivating. I look at some people's pages and their posts. Sometimes they get you up in the morning. Sometimes they get you going, or I see somebody doing a great podcast that I'm so impressed by and I want to improve on that and have a similar guest on or something like that. So it can be motivating and it can be overwhelming, but it can be too much.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So besides,
here's a weird question.
Yeah, shoot.
Somebody asked me this weird question the other day. We were talking about doctors.
I
don't know, doctors getting paid so much.
My brother's a doctor. He's not rich. Like, he's got money, but
like surgeons, doctors.
You wouldn't know he's a doctor just because of his car or his house. So not all doctors are.
We're talking about like the 10 percentile or 20 percentile that are
like in like brain surgery.
Yes, in the U.S.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a fat doctor?
A fat doctor?
Right?
No, actually.
Think about it.
My brother's in the best shape of his life. And
or
he's
any
a doctor.
Doctors that smoke or...
Yeah, they tend to see so much garbage
I had to
that we
back
put our
think
bodies
about
through.
it.
They're like, nah, not me. I've opened you up and seen what it's like on the inside. So yeah, no, not many smoke and not many, abuse their bodies.
If they had time, they would
physically, mentally.
They'd give seminars if they had time to keep your body in the absolute best shape. If you think.
So you think doctors should be leading the way when it comes to health and fitness?
For sure.
Well, a lot of doctors are fit though, like work out and.
Have you ever seen a fat doctor? Like, really think about it. I've never.
Yeah, I know a fat doctor.
Really?
Yeah,
Back home?
no, he's from back home, but I mean he's not fat, but yeah, he doesn't look after himself. But I know what you're saying.
That's like
99.9% of
9%.
doctors are probably in good shape and don't smoke and don't abuse
Yeah.
alcohol and don't do drugs,
Nothing.
and they're probably pretty punctual people and take their job super seriously. So
As much as they're
Yeah.
pro marijuana, they probably don't do it because just smoking it.
they diagnose marijuana to people. They subscribe.
Prescribe it,
Prescribe marijuana to
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
So they know the benefits.
Of
They know
course.
how it works. They know it comes in pill form and
Yeah.
liquids and stuff like that. That a lot
So
of
they
people are
would be the
turning to.
best to offer
Yeah.
advice.
Yeah. Like in Half Baked. That's where he got all his weed from,
Yeah,
remember? Just sign here, doctor. So you can do that too. That works.
Just a weird thought.
Yeah. When you think about it, doctors, all in good shape, But you don't blame them because they see what it's like when you don't do the right things, when you don't stretch. I bet you they all stretch too. You know what I mean? Like nobody wants to experience that. It's like working at a bar and not being a drunk. I know when I had my bar, you'd hardly catch me drinking because I needed to be alert. I'm doing cash outs at the end of the night. I got to deal with numbers. I got to deal with the closing procedure. I got to deal with paying my bouncers. I got to deal with, a liquor count. I got to deal with the cops if they show up, or depending on how big your party is. So, I just didn't drink when I was at the bar, So it's just when you see something, so much of it all the time, and it's so accessible. Sometimes you just learn how to just ignore it, and it just becomes a habit. Where it's just weird for me to have a drink. I'm gonna have a shot to entertain somebody once in a blue moon, but I just did not like to drink, especially at work. Well, mind you, I'm not big into it. Like I'd rather smoke a joint than have a shot of tequila. That's just me. But so it's not good to mix both. I've mixed both before. Like 15 years ago, my head was in the toilet for like half an hour. I was being helped by 3 people, I think. It was the first time where I chugged a beer, which rarely happened at the time. I think I was like 17 or something. And I got offered a joint, and we smoked a joint outside. Man. And I just came back in, and my world was spinning. It felt like everybody in the room was on one of those K-Day rides where they're just flying around me to the point where I just had to be escorted to the bathroom. I was like, things are about to exit my mouth. Yeah, it was a horrible experience. So since that day, I've done it by accident here and there, but I think because I can tolerate it more now, I just don't feel that good, and I just know, okay, I shouldn't have done that. But not to that point. I was a young kid then. You don't indulge in too much of anything else. Like, no.
I barely drink. It was my birthday yesterday, and I drove.
Happy birthday, by the way. How old are you? Young are you?
Younger me?
Younger. How young are you?
I'm 27.
27.
Yeah. I drove myself to the bar last night.
Your life is just starting, man.
I drove myself to the fight, and then to a bar, and then drove myself home. Yeah. Because I didn't want to drink.
Yeah, good for you. I mean, it was a great fight for me, and I waited for it for a long time.
Did you see that?
Oh, domination. Domination. Absolute domination. And he did it.
That was domination.
And he did it on the feet, which was nobody predicted that. No. Everybody started calling the fight either Conor's going to knock him out if he comes forward at him and stays standing up, or Khabib's going to take him down to the ground, out wrestle him, and ground and pound, and that's how he's going to win. But for Khabib to stand up and fight him the way he did at his own game and nearly knock him out, probably better than anybody's ever faced Conor, did damage to him standing up. That was impressive. I was like, that's awesome. That's like, you can't take it. All that shit that happened afterwards is whatever. That's, you talk enough shit about somebody, you get emotions going, and you take a beating the way you did, you're going to do crazy stuff.
That's the thing, right? Everybody's saying 2 wrongs don't make a right, but this is honor amongst thieves. They're both fighters.
Conor has jumped the cage before. We all forgot when he jumped the cage and ran up to Aldo and was face to face with him, and security was holding it back. The only difference is he didn't leap up like an eagle and try to Jimmy kick somebody. but if you're talking about where he went wrong was jumping over the cage, then you're a hypocrite because Conor did it.
What about the bus incident?
What about the bus?
And two wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah,
But
small dolly went through that window, you know, and cut up people. So I'm not gonna watch that after fight brawl and be like, oh, shame on him. No,
they're both in the wrong.
fuck them both. They're both in the fight game. They both know what they signed up for. They both had press conferences where it got really heated, and it was an entertaining fight because if you paid to see that fight, then you got your money's worth. And that's why we're tuning in.
Yeah.
None of us are related to Khabib. None of us are related to Conor, as much as we'd like to think we are. You know, it was just an entertaining fight, both during the fight, even the fights before. Even that fight of the night with Tony Ferguson and Pettis, I think that's who won it. That was a great fight. So everything about that night was perfect. The brawl afterwards was crazy because nobody expected it. We got our money's worth. We will never forget that night. Not right away.
If you were looking at the press conferences, all the way up from the press conferences to this point, you got your money's worth if you've been following those two guys.
Yeah. The press conference could be a little bit too much because I don't mind a press conference, but it's when they start judging the fight on the press conference.
Yes.
Like when they start saying, well, 1 point for Conor, 0 for Khabib. It's like, what point system are you working? Like the fact that he didn't say much and he was promoting whiskey, you know what I mean? Or talking shit. Like, well, I think he won the mental warfare. I can see how it can be mentioned when you seen Aldo come out and get knocked out in 13 seconds because mental warfare got there. Yes. I get that. But stop talking about it like it's part of the point system or part of round 1 or 2. There's still a fight that's going to happen.
Absolutely.
You can talk as much shit as you want, but stop rating it like it's a sport on its own. Yeah, it's cool to see two guys hate each other and I wonder who's going to win and you and your buddies can pick your favorites. Yeah. But to start looking at the press conference as some sort of marker as to how the fight's going to go, you don't know that. And Khabib proved that.
Yeah.
Because, Conor won the conversations. And he said some things that were over the top, brash, and promoting himself. But in the ring,
that's all it comes down to.
Khabib said the October 6th we'll see, and he showed him October 6th that he could stand and strike and out wrestle and out grapple and choke him out.
And still have energy to attack.
And still have energy to jump over like like a monkey over the fence and then leap like an eagle into the crowd and try to Jimmy kick, what's his name? Dennis Dillon, whatever his name is. So, and there's a picture of him doing that. My buddy posted. It just looked so funny. I was like, you could just tell he lost his marbles. He doesn't care. Yeah. You know, the Dagestani in him came out and he's like, fuck it. You've been talking shit this whole time. Your boy's down. And you know what? You're entertained by it all, and that's what I think it comes down to. It was an entertaining night.
That's why he didn't press charges against his team.
Yeah, and he shouldn't. He shouldn't. Imagine that. How can you press charges when you still got charges being filed on you from the dolly? Like that judge is going to see you a few too many times. Like, why are you here again? It's like, well, they hit me in the face when I wasn't looking. It's like, yeah, but you threw a dolly at that young lady
when they were hanging out.
You know what I mean? You can't. You fight by the sword. You live by the sword. You die by the sword.
Yeah.
And so that goes without saying that if you're going to be a fan of Conor and have him do all these brash things, the second Khabib does it and you're down his throat and I hear they didn't even give him his half of the purse.
They didn't give him his purse. It's a $2 million. What was a $2 million purse?
That's it.
Yeah, McGregor got $3 million for losing.
I thought it was way more than that. They both got way more than that.
No.
Okay, I was wrong.
And I heard they kept Khabib's purse but gave McGregor his.
Yes, which is wrong. Wrong. So what are you hoping? He doesn't get his visa and gets kicked out of the country and never gets his money?
For Dana White to say that is so hypocritical. That shows you.
Yeah,
I hate
that's not cool. I don't like that whole relationship going on with them two.
I don't want to bring racism into it, but when Conor was doing all that crazy stuff, he didn't get suspended.
Yeah. Mind you, Khabib wanted to fight him, so suspending him would be
a good thing for White to say he might not get his visa. Why are you taking it to that? That's taking it too far.
Yeah, they're making a whole too big of a deal of the brawl afterwards.
And to not give
they were just emotional.
Yes.
Conor said it was fine. Khabib's fine. He leaped the cage and jumped into the crowd, but that's because the guy was talking shit to him the whole time. And he just finished pounding somebody, so he's riled up. And all of a sudden you strip him from his money.
Don't even give him his belt and just say people are going to throw
that I get, because the reason they didn't put the belt on him was because Dana White
they don't want people
thought it was just going to get a little rowdy. Where can you imagine Bruce Buffer announcing it and then having the belt go on and then all these things flying in? You could risk hurting one of them. I get that. But he should have handled it differently. Maybe gave him his belt and just said, let's leave or whatever. But he was almost...
didn't want to.
Yeah.
He
That I didn't mind because I could see the danger in it. Because at the end, right before Khabib entered the tunnel as he was being let out by security, they were throwing stuff at him. Pop and whatever. But still.
But this is his house. Dana White, you say something. Hey, out of respect for the octagon, like how I have respect for the octagon, this is what we love.
What do you mean it's his house? They were leaping over the cage. You thought Dana White's respect had something to do with it? You think Khabib thought about Dana White before he leaped over?
For people not to throw stuff into the octagon.
Your own fighter leaped the cage, didn't give a shit, jumped into the crowd. The other guys were fist fighting like total strangers in the octagon. Nobody gives a shit about Dana White's respect in his house, but he's a great promoter. He's, he just pushed Conor a little too far, and it's okay to have favorites. Don't get me wrong. It's okay for me to like Conor over Khabib.
Yeah,
it's okay to do that. I've been watching Conor way before I knew about Khabib, so I didn't know about the guy. But there are some things that lead up to those fights whether it was religion brought into it or something that was said, that makes me less of a fan. And then when Khabib destroys him the way he did, I can't help but be a Khabib fan because I think he did great. So I'm not going to take anything away from him because Conor's got a certain suit on. It's like, good for you. I'm a big fan. I like how you promote your fights, but you lost that. And you grabbed onto the cage and you did a lot of stupid shit that fight. And he still beat your ass. And much respect for him to take on a 26-0. Don't get me wrong. That takes balls to do that. Take 2 years off and come for the best. So I love his courage. I love his heart. But you said a lot of things that you needed to answer to. He definitely answered you physically. And then he tried to attack your boys physically. But obviously the mental warfare didn't get to him enough. So you can judge that. You can give it to Conor or not. The mental warfare had nothing to do with it. He went in there, let his fist do the talking, and he kicked his fucking ass. It was a great fight.
It'll be a great series.
I think he dragged it on to 4. He could have did it in 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I think he wanted it to go to 4 because he told him, I come here for smash you. I break you. And he told him it's not going to be quick. He's like, I'm going to drag it. I'm going to speak with him. I'm going to humble him, change his face. I think he changed his face. I seen a picture of Conor
recently.
Yeah, he looked welted up. He was on his Instagram. So he changed his face too.
It'll be a great series between them.
I don't know if a rematch is necessary.
Conor wants one.
Of course Conor wanted. Conor wanted one after Diaz right away. Like 3 seconds later, he was screaming out for it. And he's screaming out for this one. But yeah, he dominated you though. I can't see you taking a few months off and coming back as a different person. But something looked off.
He was slow. His punches didn't
slow.
seem...
He just stood there, and you thought the old Conor was going to come in, maybe a straight kick to the chest or one of those stabs he gives, where he makes you breathe a little bit harder. But it wasn't like that. He just got clocked by him.
Yeah.
Like Khabib put his head down and did an over the shoulder swing and caught him right in the chin. And I was like, whoa.
I saw that.
Conor doesn't get caught like that.
No,
this guy's not even a striker. So maybe Khabib's just like, okay, maybe I make him think I don't strike and then pound his face in with it. Like, you don't know, right?
That was his strategy because he kept tackling.
That's a great strategy. It worked to...
He was probably anticipating...
Yeah, a duck. So he had his arms by his side.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, how about I just go for your chin? Screw wrestling and grappling and stuff. But great fight, very entertaining. But it's one of those where I'm not interested to see what's gonna happen right now. Is Conor gonna want a rematch? I know Conor wants a rematch.
Of course.
I think Khabib should say no.
What is enough?
I smashed you. I'm 27-0. Yeah, I come for smash somebody else now. Like that's what I would say. But yeah, it was a great fight. Great fight. Did you and your girl watch it?
Yeah, we did.
Together?
Yeah, we watched it together.
Does she involve herself in your sporting events in your life? Does she like to know what's happening, or is she one of those? As long as he's smiling, I'm smiling.
He's smiling.
Yeah.
She doesn't really care for sports.
Okay. Yeah. It's nice.
It's nice. Yeah.
I've dated, girls that were into sports and followed along. Could even play some of them, and that was pretty cool, But then I've gotten to know girls that don't really enjoy sports, don't care for it, but they got to replace that with something like other interests that you'd be a part of, like whether you go salsa dancing or you go to certain certain plays or movies, or you got to have other interests, sort of.
She likes movies.
Yeah.
She likes watching movies. Yeah.
What was the last movie you guys seen?
We actually saw a movie last night.
What was it?
It was that new Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish movie, College Dropout or something like that.
Oh, okay. I think I seen a preview to that.
Yeah, yeah.
How was it?
It was pretty good.
Kevin Hart?
Kevin Hart.
Aren't you sick of him? He's
You know,
everywhere, hey?
He's everywhere.
He is everywhere.
I saw him when he first came to Edmonton.
I'm sick of him like I'm sick of Connor. Just
Yeah.
everywhere.
I
Like,
saw
that's
him
enough.
in 2012 when he first came
Yeah.
here. When he first became
Yeah, we
popular.
watched him.
Yeah. Oh, he's over. He's. I need somebody.
He's funny.
New. Somebody new.
He's funny.
Somebody new
Yeah.
now. There
I
needs to
got
be
sick
somebody.
of Russell Peters instantly.
Instantly.
I think it was like 2 days after I literally could not watch him.
I don't watch him.
Do comedy again. There's just some comedians that, but then you watch a white boy like Bill Burr, and it's just like he's so funny. It's just like you'll watch him, you know. But there's some comedians that tend to be a little too much on your TV screen. You know, just everywhere you turn, they're there, and you can, I think, over promote yourself a little bit. You know,
No, that
unless
is
you're
true.
The Rock, then just keep going, man.
Just
'Cause
he's the
all
Rock.
the content you're putting out there is pretty dope. thanks for the lessons in bodybuilding. No, he's good shit. So yeah, so that was a movie that you saw and liked.
Yeah, yeah. We saw last night. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Northside has on the St. Albert Trail 130. They have VIP movie theaters now.
Oh, the one with the seats and the waitress
Yeah,
that
they
comes
come
in
bring
and
you
serves you
liquor.
like the South Side.
Yeah, they have it on the
No
north
way.
side now.
They on that one on St. Albert Trail, 137. Get out of here!
137. They finished building it a month ago.
A month
So
ago.
we were there last night and we got a glass
and you
of
got
wine.
that treatment.
We didn't go there because we
No.
didn't know, but we went to a regular movie and then we got a glass of wine.
And then you heard the whispers in the crowd that
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
next door. Yeah, so those are big seats,
Bigger seats.
and you have a menu you can order from.
So they come in, you have a waiter or a waitress. They come in.
Whoa,
What
yeah,
do you-
that's right. That's
yeah.
right. The South Side. I've
Yeah.
only been there once, I think.
But probably the best movie theater is the one in St. Albert Landmark because the seats are like 2-in-1 and you can.
And that's not the one you're talking about.
No.
That's a different one.
That's a different
inside
one.
of St. Albert.
In St. Albert.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But this one has VIP movie theaters. So they have like premium dinners, premium food, liquor.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh, and
good.
you get to serve.
Yeah,
you,
right
you
there.
get to you
right
get to
in
be
your
served
seat.
liquor.
Yeah, right in your seat.
Really?
So if you want a beer, you sit there. They come and bring you a beer. It's
Interesting.
like Cactus Club with the movie.
Right? Tell me they don't have Moscow mules.
No, they don't.
Oh man! If they had
Wouldn't
that,
be
I'd
able to
show
get
up
you to
at
leave.
5 and leave at midnight. Sir, the movie ended 5 hours ago. I don't give a shit. Keep the drinks coming. No, I love that drink. There's something about it that
Oh, it's
just
so
wakes
good.
you up. All that ginger or
Yeah.
whatever they put in there. Yeah, it just tastes really good. Yeah, movies are big, especially if she's not going to be into sports all that much.
But they're expensive.
Yeah, well,
Man.
we went out and we had drinks and we ate during the fight, and that
Yeah.
wasn't cheap either.
No, that's
you know,
true.
So, but with you, it's just you're dating one girl. If I'm out with like 5-6 guys, and somebody doesn't bring a wallet with them, and sometimes I don't. Let's say neither people pick up the bill. It gets expensive for them too. It's like, wait a minute, man, I didn't bring my wife with me. Why am I paying so much? And that's awesome.
The pros and cons of being single.
Yeah, yeah. No, I haven't been to many movies these days. Just watching a little bit of Netflix. Even that I don't want to get into all that much with all the series and episodes.
Too much.
Yeah, man. You go from one to the other, and especially if it's a good one, and it's going to be a good one. Like when you watch Making a Murder, or what's that one that I really like?
Narcos was really good the first season.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Narcos.
Breaking Bad was
Breaking
awesome.
Bad.
Oh.
I got into Breaking Bad. I spent a week in bed. Like, that's not cool. You know what I mean? And if it suckers you in the first 2 episodes.
Oh man,
That's
because you
why-
don't want to leave.
Exactly. Peaky Blinders, I got told so much about. 2 episodes, 3 episodes in, I changed it. I just got out of there. And everybody's like, we should have stayed, because by the 4th and 5th one, I'm like, I know it's probably unreal, like Game of Thrones. I get that. But it's tread lightly on Netflix, because you get caught in that web of one of those great movies or series that they have. And they're going to be good. You could be there for a good 2 weeks. That's a lot of time.
I watched my first Netflix show last night in like 2 years.
Oh, good for
I
you.
don't watch Netflix.
I haven't had cable in 5 years. Like cable.
I'm getting rid of my cable soon.
Yeah, it's
I watch sports.
Yeah, sports, YouTube, Netflix.
But they have this new app called The Zone. D-A-Z-N.
The Zone?
D-A-Z-N. D-A-Z-N, sorry.
The Zone.
The Zone.
And what is it? Sports or?
Yeah, for $20 a month.
And it's just sports.
Just sports.
All sports? Soccer?
Oh man, every soccer.
Yeah. Hockey?
No
UFC.
hockey, because Rogers has a huge contract on,
Yeah.
hockey content. But they have rugby, they have college sports, they have football, which is really good.
And it's $20 a month.
$20 a month. No, $12 a month. Sorry, $12 a month.
$12 a month.
$12 a month.
And Netflix is still $8 a month.
Yeah.
Wow.
So she takes care of that. I don't watch Netflix.
Yeah. You
But
pay
sport.
the $8.99 for that Netflix. Not me paid it. I remember when Netflix showed up and Blockbuster just went out of business.
Oh, man.
I was like, really? We just can't go to movie studio or Blockbuster?
You sit home?
And now they're like vintage. Like now if you go in there,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
because they got vintage shit. That's the only reason. Before it was like the new releases. Remember
for
your wall of new releases that you had in Blockbuster?
And you go there
You
first.
had your card and
man,
everything.
for
I'll be
sure.
right back. Pizza, movie. And now it's like skip the dishes, Netflix.
I was also just about
boom.
to say skip the dishes.
Yeah.
You don't have to leave home now.
I don't leave the house. Nobody's seen me in about 2 months. They don't know what I look like. Thank God for the podcast. I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's too convenient now. You know what I mean?
You can get your groceries brought to you now. Like in Walmart, you can order all your groceries and just go pick it up and come back.
It helps with people's grandparents.
Yeah.
Because I always see them, especially the elderly that can't really, drive and go to No Frills or Superstore. There's this app where they get all their groceries, delivered to them, and they can literally pick of what they want, whether it's cucumber and 2 green peppers, and literally go down and choose how many of each product that you want, and you get a bill. It's just crazy.
It's easy.
It's crazy how convenient it is now. I don't know if that's a good thing. Because sometimes those Blockbuster drives were nice. Gave you time to smoke a J, stop by, grab a
Hang
pizza,
out with a friend.
Hang out with a friend, go stop by and see somebody.
Yeah.
Like it was a little more social, a little more work, but a little more social. And now that it's so easy, there's some advantages, but I always think that there's got to be some disadvantages.
Life is all going to be about robots soon.
Yeah, I think so. Well, it'll still be about us, but robots.
But everything will be digital.
I think everything is robots and digital now. My iPad knows what time I need to wake up in the morning.
You need to hold it. Imagine if they create something where you don't need to hold anything in your hand. I watched this amazing show.
But we already are, though. I feel like we're there. I feel like we're talking about something that we're knee deep in, going, well, I hope this isn't quicksand. It's like, well, obviously we're in quicksand. It's just you haven't seen what it can actually do.
Yeah.
Like you tell me there's no robots, but we're talking into mics and we can hear ourselves and it's being recorded. I mean, robots have started a long time ago. It's just they're getting more and more impressive and knowing us a little bit more. They're connected to us more. I mean, I'm using my fingerprint to open up my phone. Who would have thought that in the 1950s?
Or face on the new one.
And that's nothing to us now. Now we see that it's like, meh.
Some people don't use their face on the new ones.
Yeah.
They don't use their fingerprint.
Exactly. So how much closer do you want it to be to a robot? Like what is too much for you? Like if I introduced you to my assistant who was a robot and she came and greeted you and gave you a Moscow Mule and left, is that something I'd be like, well, that's cool, man, but she doesn't look that real. I wonder what the next version is going to be like. You know what I mean?
No,
so
sure.
I don't think it's ever going to surprise us. I mean, when we watched Back to the Future, what's his name? Who's that actor on Back to the Future?
I don't know.
One of the actors. The guy that floats on that hoverboard with the old man that has that car that goes.
I can't think. I know his name.
Yeah. Regardless, you guys know who I'm talking about. So he floats on that hoverboard after putting on those Nikes or those shoes that's strapped in by themselves. And you're thinking, wow, that's amazing. Can you imagine? We used to sit there and think like that'd be cool.
In 2020.
Now,
we all thought that in 2020 there's gonna be floating cars.
Yeah, and every three swipes down your wall on Facebook, you see a picture of a guy or a video of a guy floating around and literally flying around on a board, and sometimes without a board. He just lifts up with this jetpack, and he's gone. He can control it. He can speak to us. He's got a helmet on, and you're like, well, I'll be damned. It was just the other day that I thought this was going to be a crazy invention. Now it's nothing. Now it's like, so what? If I see a guy floating around outside, I'd be like, oh, just like the videos I watch. Like it wouldn't be.
You think so? Now if you saw somebody floating? If you
honestly,
walk outside right now, you saw somebody floating.
I'd be like, that's pretty cool. That's probably the first one in Edmonton. But I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be like, calling my friends to explain to them what I just saw, because they'd be
Really?
like, "Oh, I watched it the other day in Honolulu. The guy was flying over the water or
Yeah,
whatever."
that is true. Yeah.
So I just don't know where you start drawing the line, where the robots become real to you, where it becomes too much. I mean, they're controlling our information, and where they know where we are, which airport we're checking in on. The reason we need Wi-Fi, I think, is it's just more of an Achilles heel when it comes to that, where we're dependent on Wi-Fi and cellular data. So I think the control's already there. It's just it's not obvious to us yet. That's how I feel about that. I think
It's obvious. It's in front of us. Like in Toronto, they have those brothels with the robots.
What? What do you mean? Brothels
Yeah.
with the robot?
Yeah, there's brothels in Toronto.
You're talking about a brothel like people go by a window and or people go inside and there's escorts.
Yeah.
And there's
Now
okay.
the new shops in Toronto where there's no live women.
Please
Look
don't,
at your
please
face.
don't tell me this is going where I think it's going. So you're telling me that there's places
It's right in front of us. You said it's not there. It's right in front of us. It just opened up in August where you can go to Toronto.
Yeah.
And pay for a doll.
Walk me through this. So I'm in Toronto. I decide I want to go to a brothel.
There's a live brothel and then there's a robot brothel right next.
Okay, so forget the live brothel. Okay, I'm just want to see what the hell's going on the other side. So what's a robot brothel?
Well, from what I've read on like Vice, like you just it's like a live brothel. You just go right in and there's all these there's these sex dolls.
Yeah.
That are live looking.
Oh my God! It's
right.
So
in front
it is
of
what
us.
I thought it was. It's
Yeah.
those dolls and
Yeah.
and probably
Real live
machinery
doll.
used to
Yeah.
get you off,
Yeah.
and you go in there and pay
Yeah.
a fee, and
Yeah.
it's not real women. It's just these.
Yeah.
So it's probably
It's right in front of us. It's
Yeah, but see, I've never been into that or into that.
Yeah.
Or into strippers or
No,
into
for
strip
sure.
clubs. Like that's.
But how far is enough? Like, is that not
Yeah,
too far?
that's when you're screwing a robot. I think
Yeah.
you've reached the
what goes on
robots
through
being.
your mind? Like, what goes?
I hope she cooks well. Is there a program to this robot that makes my eggs over medium?
There actually is a robot that they spent 2.1.
You see what I'm saying? You're asking me about robots. I'm telling you, they're there. We're
They're
just
there.
not looking in Toronto's brothels or these places that you know about.
No, but they're there. They're in front of us. It's just
Yeah.
it's gonna be easier where we don't have to carry anything. Where I can have something. Like, I don't know, where
Yeah,
something's in
no.
your eye where I can see your face.
It's
but
just it's always getting easier
Easier,
and
yeah.
better and quicker, and if we're not getting. You don't hear somebody with an iPhone 8 talking to you the next day about the iPhone 4 and how great it is.
no, never.
They're going to talk to you about the iPhone 10 and the next one and the next one. But that's just with the phone.
Mm-hmm.
What about the cars? What about mics?
Yeah.
What about everything that surrounds us, from your watch to your computer to everything. The way you work out is almost controlled by machinery now, and some of the progress that's made there. I think it's just constant. It just doesn't end. But I think we're very much inside of it. Like we are a part of this world that's being pretty much controlled by robots. It's just not obvious to us yet because, well, I'm still walking to my car and I'm still unlocking the door with a button. So, like I'm still doing human things.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like later on we'll just be discussing how much human things we still do. Like, you still brush your teeth like with your hand?
Yeah, yeah.
And people are like, yeah, man, how do you brush? It's like, well, I got this button. I just push it, put my face in it, and just brushes on or whatever, right? So I don't know how, where to draw the line. Like, where do you start saying, oh, man, we're definitely.
Would you put a chip in your hand? Like, your wallet? If your wallet was
Would I
chip
upgrade
size,
from a cassette to a CD when it happened? Hell yeah. Yeah, put it. I'm not that important. Nobody cares where I'm going, what chip I have in my hand. You want to kill me that bad? Okay, I guess I walked into the wrong facility. But if you want to put a chip in my arm, and
that makes it like easier where you could just stop.
resist it. You're just gonna end up doing it. When they start changing all the cassette players in your car to CD players, and you're still sitting there holding onto the cassette saying, "No fucking way, you're not gonna get me." It's like, all right, Enjoy your new car.
In a lot of cars, they don't have CD players. You have to pay $1,000.
Yeah, we're already speaking ancient languages right now. We're not even discussing anything relevant. This is old school, you know. So it's a miracle that all that stuff is still. You can find it. There's some stores that you can still find a cassette player.
No.
How are you finding being with your fiance?
Well, it's good. Can't complain.
And you guys have been together for, what'd you say, 2 years?
No, almost 6.
6 years?
Yeah.
Oh, man. And so you got engaged?
Yeah.
And you're getting married anytime soon? Is she listening?
20. No, we got engaged end of June there, June 28th. And then...
day before my birthday.
Really?
Yeah, June 29th.
I was in the Bahamas.
Really?
Yeah.
That's why I didn't get a text from you. That's okay. I forgive you. It was your birthday yesterday, so yeah. I'm 1 day late. You're 1 day early.
We'll get married. We'll plan on getting married in 2020.
In the city?
No, I'm gonna go to Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah, destination.
A lot of people are doing that.
Because it's
simple.
It's simple, less money. It's easier.
Better weather.
Yeah. You know, it's just, and you can't make everybody happy. That's the thing. Right, and the thing with destination weddings, you can invite as much people, and some people might not show up.
Because in our culture, you can invite 500-600 people and just piss off the 20 that you didn't.
That's how.
So you feel like, I'm going to mess it up anyway, so I might as well just go for the 20. I have a higher rate of success there, and just invite them out, and we can just travel together with me and a handful of friends. Yeah. A lot of people are doing that. It makes sense. It's fun. It's not spontaneous, but it feels that way when you're out and you're doing that. So, well, I don't know if I'll be invited, but I hope at least I'll be in Mexico around the corner. Be like, yo, remember me?
Who knows if you show up?
Right? No,
I'll give you an invite.
You know, I've never been to Mexico.
Really?
How shitty is that?
Well, you'll get an invite from me.
I've never been to Mexico. It's weird. It's just one of those places where when you get your options, you're like, oh, I want to go to Lebanon, see some old friends and family again, or Toronto, or visit a friend or a brother or whatever. And then you get the option to go to Mexico. Unless it's that right group or right fit, it never really popped up as something I wanted to do. And I kind of feel like I went to Miami.
Yeah,
that was fun.
That was fun.
You know what I mean? Kendall, and then we went to what's that place? And we drove about 3 hours to get to it. I think it was Bonita Springs.
Bonita Springs.
Yeah, that was a really nice place.
Yeah, Bonita Springs is very nice.
So I just feel like I've always hovered near Mexico, but I never went there. So that would be my first.
I've been to Mexico twice. First time with my fiance, and it was weird because they don't see a lot of black people there.
Oh, really?
So when they were there, they were taking photos. We got like celebrities there. They were taking photos of us.
Really?
Touching
No,
our hair.
I think because you guys are sexy.
No,
That's not what.
One of the interpreters told us we don't see black people here.
Yeah.
We see white people and Mexicans. So when they saw a black person, they just couldn't believe it.
And this was how long ago?
2015.
Okay.
Yeah. And I went again with the boys, the same boys you went to Miami with.
Yeah.
And that was good.
Yeah. They're thinking of doing it again. It's our Droots convention is coming up, and it's held annually sometimes. Sometimes there's Thanksgiving events and stuff like that, but it's usually a bunch of people that go there that are, some are single, some aren't, but it's fun. It's fun to meet somebody from your background and country and culture and you know, all sorts of habits. But it's just such a minority that it's such a small group. I feel like that exists. It's nice to meet others that are in the States and in places that you tend to visit every now and again. You feel like you can reach out to them. So just connecting people on a group level, I guess you could say. But yeah, Mexico. I do Mexico. Yeah, when are you thinking? You thinking what, next year? Or the year?
February for spring, springtime, February there in 2020.
Is it booked?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay, but that's what you guys are thinking.
Yeah. Probably finalize everything at the end of the year.
Well, I'm going to Lebanon next year. I'll be doing the podcast from there, I think.
Really?
Maybe. That'd be interesting.
How about podcast from Mexico?
Yeah.
The Josephs.
Welcome the bride and the groom. That's interesting. Yeah. That never happens.
That'd be different.
Yeah, that'd be cool, actually. And this stuff you can take on the road. As long as my team wants to travel with me, we're good. I'd like that.
Yeah.
It's like Mexico, thumbs up. But that's good news. I'm glad to hear that you're happy and you're taking all these steps in the right direction, and I envy that. There's advantages and disadvantages to being either single or married or in a relationship, and you always want what you can't have. There's days where my friends that are married, they're like, oh man, I wish I woke up by myself today. It was horrible. Had somebody breathing on my neck or whatever the case may be, but they're not in. They're not in the best moods, so they start thinking about your life, and I wish I had that. But then you talk about a guy that's not married, doesn't have kids. You don't think I want that when I see 11 nephews and nieces, and I just spent some time with some of them, and I'm like, I wish I had a kid, But I just feel like everything has got its. I just don't feel like putting a clock on it where it's like, well, it's 37. It's about time I meet somebody and get married and have kids. It's like I'm doing me and I'm having fun doing it. And it's and like I said, everything's got advantages and disadvantages. So there's no rainbow on this side, and I'm sure there's no rainbow on your side. But it's just nice to see you happy with somebody that feels the same about you, and you guys mutually get along and seem to be good friends more than anything, that there's a friendship base there, which you don't see with a lot of couples. I just don't want that stay at home and I go do my thing and I'll tell you all about it later. That's not
boring.
Yeah, that's not so to have a relationship, I think you need to find a best friend. So if there's any animosity there, if there's any jabs at each other and stuff like that, you just know you're not with somebody that's either got your back or willing to be best friends with you.
You have to. They have to be friends because you spend so much time with them. But I mean, we don't spend much time together because I work 10, 12 hours in the day and she works 10, 12 hours at night. Yeah. So we only see each other.
But that's not bad. It's nice to miss each other.
And that's it.
You can spend too much time with somebody.
Yes, and get annoyed with them.
Of course, of course. So I think you guys working really hard and not seeing each other as much as I think keeps the relationship on its toes. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Look forward to seeing somebody.
Yeah, exactly. And you're excited to see them again, and so that keeps it fresh, I feel. Yeah. But in February, I hope to be there at your wedding. Brother, I wish you nothing but the best. I'm glad that, like I said, you came through the first day of snow and wanted to come by and do this. And I appreciate you because I know we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. And I'll stop by at St. Albert Dodge and say hi whenever I get a chance. And we'll do this again. I like this conversation. Nice. It was cool. We didn't even talk about what we wanted to discuss, but there's where we met and a couple of other things and how good you look now. Maybe you got something to share, but we started talking about robots and but it was an awesome conversation. I look forward to having you again, man.
Yeah, pleasure to be back.
Yeah, thanks.